Hey, Icky founders. Hello, Icky family. And my gosh, it has been ages since, it feels like it's been ages. It's been maybe 2 weeks, I think, since I've done an update to you guys. Yeah, I just thought, look, I'd just check in and kind of share what's been going on and let you know that I'm alive and breathing and still thinking about you all and thinking about how to bring this whole thing together. So what's been happening over the last couple of weeks? Well, so as you guys would know, or some of you will know, 4 weeks ago, my partner Tyler and I made the decision to, well, maybe 6 weeks ago, but 4 weeks ago we moved to Australia. So we moved across and we moved over to Sydney. We spent a week in Sydney kind of having a look around at what was going on there, talking to other people in the ecosystem, looking at the different startup hubs and just kind of really getting a handle on what was happening in Sydney. A couple of things really stood out to me. Sydney is like by far one of the most expensive places I've ever come across. I don't know how anyone actually can afford to survive there. It was it's crazy. I think it's now more expensive to live in Sydney than it is to live in New York or London. So just to put that in perspective, which was kind of crazy. And I guess this has been a real interesting kind of test for both my own Ikigai vision and goals, as well as just, going through the challenges of relocating and moving city and all of those kind of things. Give me 1 second. It's a little bit loud where I am. I am here. I'm just going to close the doors. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I probably should have done this before I decided to do a call, right? Typical Nick, terribly disorganized. Hey, so live stream, what am I doing? What's going on? Well, look, safe to say it has been kind of quite challenging, both emotionally, financially, and mentally, making the move over here. And so we did a week in Sydney. Kind of got around a few different meetings, and I guess honestly I was looking at how to restabilize my own financial situation after exiting my business last year, and just sort of really kind of trying to take a bit of a breath and look at what was happening. Had a few meetings with different organizations, but nothing actually really kind of came together. My partner's family is based here in Brisbane, so we decided to drive up to Brisbane, which was a 12-hour drive, huge drive, awesome actually, it was really good. And we drove up here. And over the last 3 weeks here in Brisbane, I've had, countless meetings with different players in the ecosystem here, from the non-for-profit, social enterprise, startup spaces, environments, all of these kind of different areas. And again, safe to say there's always the same universal challenge, which is most of the founders I've talked to are either feeling pretty actually tech, and they're not very diverse, and by diverse I mean they don't have a mix of different businesses and different people doing different things, which I think is really problematic. So what does this all mean, and where is this all going to, and why haven't I posted some more stuff around understanding your Ikigai? And I guess I've been kind of living this at the moment, which is really around trying to understand what is my Ikigai, and I definitely feel like myself, if you're visualizing the Ikigai kind of thing, I'm sitting down in the what can I do to get paid and what am I good at piece, which is hilarious, because every time I do that, every time I focus down on that piece rather than what my mission is, which is helping 1 million founders to live a more balanced life and be more successful with their venture and actually really develop something amazing, all the wheels come off for me. I end up kind of, spinning wheels and nothing's really working very well. And so where did I get to? Well, at the moment, I'm sitting in this cool little space. Here you go, little prototype. So what I'm kind of working on at the moment is this idea around micro co-working. So what I've kind of found out is that there are all these huge spaces set up for all these different co-working operators, and none of them really are massively focused on actually developing a meaningful relationship or tribe or community with the people that are in them. And so I've partnered with a mate of mine who owns an architectural practice here in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. And the space is called Tonic Espresso Cafe and Bar. And we're going to a new sort of co-working offer here, which is for, it's essentially for the gigabit economy. It's for the freelance economy, whether you're a designer, a social enterprise, non-for-profit, global change maker, whoever. But we're going to keep it really super accessible. And the idea is actually to launch a whole network of these as kind of the physical footprint for the Icky guy and the Icky founder kind of movement. Sorry, it's so noisy sitting in the cafe. And I guess that's kind of where I've been at, and I've kind of gone through a bunch of different meetings and conversations trying to really get my head to this point. And I suppose I was really resistant on trying to spin up a new physical space. And the reality is that it's kind of inevitable that I needed some type of physical village or home for each of these things. So yeah, so that's kind of where I've been at. So now that I've started to, one, feel grounded, I've got this. I guess the next piece is we're still basically couch surfing, my partner Tyler and I. So we're trying to sort out getting a house, which is actually quite cost effective here in Brisbane. I mean, I've got to say, Brisbane as a city, it's infinitely cheaper to live here than it was to live in New Zealand, Auckland or Wellington. It's fantastic weather, incredible weather. I think it only really rains at night. It's been about 22 degrees most days here, which the locals are complaining how cold it is, but it's nicer than New Zealand summer. And people have been really receptive and really, really friendly, engaging. So I've got nothing but praise actually for Brisbane. It's been a really great spot for us to kind of set up. So we're trying to get our lives sorted, and I know I want to thank you guys for bearing with me. Nick Marsh, my co-creator on the Icky founder movement, is starting to work through a whole bunch of really amazing thinking around the lean canvas idea and how we bring that together. So he's going to share that. Excuse me, sorry. Hay fever's going ballistic over here. And look, I think safe to say this has been a bloody interesting journey. And not without its challenges, but feeling like you're getting a rhythm now, and it's obviously great to have this as a place to be able to operate and work from. So yeah, so you will see more from me. I just wanted to share this first one up there, and hopefully this has worked and I haven't just talked to myself for 8 minutes and no one's listened. Anyway, take care, talk to you soon, drop me a message, love to hear from you guys. Let's keep in contact. You guys are working with me as I'm working with you on this experiment of trying to support Icky founders around the world. So I can't do it without you, and I just want to thank you again for supporting me through this and through your pledges and your donations. I really appreciate it.